mental understanding of enlightened metaphysics does not invoke change, transformation, or liberation. Only tangible, direct, experiential realization can liberate you from suffering and delusion.
64,000 is the median number of words per book. Average person reads about 200 words per minute. Simple math will tell us that is one book in 320 minutes. To accomplish this in 7 days, numbers say you would have to read for 45 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification button, like, comment, and share. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Book of the Week series. Every week as I read another amazing title, I share it with the world. My name is Igor S.F. Walker. Today we look at Access Super Consciousness. Raise your frequency to overcome your biggest obstacles by RJ Spina. So how about you slow down and relax? Reduce all that noise for just a bit. Make that choice and decide to listen. In this video, we'll look at a book that helps you release everything that has been in your way, including physical and energetic attachments, mental projections, and emotional complications. Stick around till the end. I will share with you some tools I do have and use that will help you tremendously in this game of life. Discover a way to find out what actually motivates you, what innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. I will share some tools to improve your self-awareness, your social awareness, your self-management, and your relationship management. Self-mastery is the letting go of everything that's gotten in the way, all of your attachments, all of your mental projections, all of your emotionalizations, all your identifications, all so-called knowledge. Self-mastery does not remove you from the human experience. It affords you the ability to greatly minimize, if not transcend, its effects upon you in a very real, in a practical way. Self-mastery gives you the ever-present, moment-to-moment ability to always be rooted in something far greater and infinitely more powerful than just your beliefs, your wants, your intellect, and your physical body. Self-mastery gives you direct access, utilization, and unification with the eternal, immortal, and undefeatable I am. Sentience is a divine intelligence. It is the I am. It is the source, God, creator within us all. From a human perspective, sentience is our level of love and wisdom whose subsets are our talents and our abilities. This is what we are. This sentience has been given energy to create with. This is what it means to be created in God's image. Space-time creates the experience of separateness, which births the concepts of relationships. This state of delusion leads to duality. This world is projected through you. Seeing happens inside you. Hearing happens inside you. Everything happens inside you. This world is projected outwardly through you. This is how a hologram works. Everything is contained within. You cut off a little piece of a hologram and then you look through it. The entirety of the hologram is contained in that one little piece. This is how we truly are. There is no freedom within the confines of the intellect. The self is well beyond all mental understanding. Freedom is not doing whatever you want, whenever you want. Freedom is actually escaping the tyranny of the finite mind and its limiting body consciousness? The lower consciousness or ego, mind, identity? EMI for short. EMI is not free. EMI, ego, mind, identity, is the human character we create due to incarnation into the lower frequencies of the physical universe. The EMI is a creation, your creation, that is birthed from the self, the I am, but it is not the self directly. Pleasure is trying to relive the past. Pain is trying to escape the future. Through non-thought, past and future disappear. Whatever and whoever your energy is attached to is actually your master. You cease to have any self-control when attachment exists. Whatever you are attached to has control over you. Without self-control, there can be no self-discipline. Without self-discipline, there can be no freedom. Without freedom, life lacks individual purpose. Without individual purpose, there can be no fulfillment. And then subsequently, freedom will have no meaning. Releasing attachments and experiencing freedom gives life purpose, gives life meaning. Now, close your eyes. Imagine what it feels like to have no name, no image, no form. Just pure awareness and limitless power. What does that feel like? All so-called physicality, thoughts, and emotions are mere shadows projected by this visible, eternal, formless force. Everything is an illusion other than the images, nameless, formless, creative force that is you. Everybody on this planet thinks they know the truth through mental ideas via sensory data, which is nonsense. This finite, conditioned mind knows absolutely nothing. Everything that we perceive to be true will be upended. Absolutely everything that you hold as truth will someday be revealed as wildly inaccurate. Now, this has happened throughout history. Remember when smoking cigarettes was actually endorsed by doctors? Everything that we have ever hung our hat on has actually been proven false. And everything right now that we are holding our hat on mentally will be proven false. So stop. Do not bother. Surrender. Let it go. Do what you tangibly know to be true and expect no results. Now, what does that mean? What does tangibly know to be true mean? Well, what you tangibly know to be true in your heart. It forces you to be present powerfully, because there is no past or future. Remember, the I am has this thing, a biological garment, that it actually created and that is actually draped over it. Through identification with the suit, it completely collapses our infinite awareness. The I am gives birth to the EMI, ego, mind, identity, and physical body. Thinking is the problem because thinking creates problem. Thinking is not knowing. Thinking creates questions. Thinking creates the illusion of time and delusion of knowledge. Rather than seeking answers to questions born out of the unawakened mind, question the authenticity of the questioneer. The truth doesn't require your participation. Lies do. The only way you can become self-realized if you are not identified with anything. The self is meditation. It actually exists prior to thought, prior to emotion, prior to body sensation. prior to the body itself. We must command our energy. Otherwise, we inevitably lock ourselves in the illusion of time and the delusion of knowledge. This insidious and incessant habit of thought. Remember, we are always the I am. Now, your EMI is completely out of control because it is completely controlled, mainly by your subconscious programming. Our character is highly conditioned through deep brainwashing, subconscious indoctrination. That's why our character feels so limited, because the character is completely and utterly controlled to brainwashing, societal conditioning, trauma-based mind control, and a profound lack of self-awareness. By working with ourselves optimally, we realign ourselves to what we really are, and therefore tangibly experience ourselves. Thus, transcending the logic and linearity program of the limited lower conscious mind is the key, are the keys to enlightenment, which is self-realization and reaching our ultimate potential. It has nothing to do with thinking, emotionalizing concepts, seeking knowledge, or bodily sensations, or identification. True success is effortless and permanent alignment with our higher mind. What is emotion? Energy emotion is emotion. For greater context, let's look at the true order of creation. At the wellspring, being and non-being, what sets creativity, evolution into motion is desire. Desire is the first order of creation. Desire, intention, thought, emotion, action, and behavior. That is the order of creation as I experience it directly. Thought, not inspiration, is always in context to previous identification or previous attachment. You cannot think without first having an identification to something. You can only think in terms of what you identify with. You can only process information in relation to what you identify with. See how limiting thought really is? Thought is simply the movement of the past. It is time to awaken and to know rather than believe. Once the thought has been sufficiently bathed with enough emotion, the body then becomes electrically charged. That's when we act. The process is what emanates the body. If it's just a fleeting thought and we don't emotionalize over it with the identification, the body will not energize enough to act upon it. It is actually fascinating to watch. Once the electricity is running through our body, which is predominantly from the misidentification with the information buried deeply in our patterned subconscious mind, the societal conditioning, repeated brainwashing, and trauma-based mind control, we then emanate a low frequency and disharmonious vibration, not connected to who and what we really are. Vibration is what dictates the form the energy actually takes. Because of this misprogramming, we mistakenly, repeatedly, and habitually harness our energy through focused desire and intention by what we have been conditioned to believe is real and true. When we believe in becoming what we think about it and then emotionalize over it, at this point we charge the body and we do something about this desire by taking an action. Repetition of an action becomes behavior, and that is how easily and effectively you can control human population. Those who are detached, they regain their energetic power and they regain their sovereignty. The intellect is defined. It is easily poisoned, manipulated, it is controlled, because it is only fed through the extremely limited bandwidth of physical sensory perception. If you control what is fed to the 5 physical senses, you control everyone's finite mind, but not your higher mind. And yet the mind is deified. This is why we must move beyond the body consciousness. Once the materialism has adopted, nihilism will soon follow. Now the pathway has been paved for the ultimate agenda, the acceptance and indoctrination of Luciferianism. Essentially, Luciferianism is the indulging in all things low frequency. Its depravity is actually fueled by a belief that they can somehow avoid negative energetic consequences through the revelation method. That is, if they announce what they plan on doing, they somehow are warded against the negativity and misfortune, canceling out any negative consequences, so to speak. They are those who desire to rule over and control humanity. It is a non-human intelligence that employs various methods in a desperate attempt at remaining relevant. As we evolve and ascend this frequency, they become irrelevant in regard to this timeline and our timeline. And that, my friends, is what you are experiencing. The battle over a disparate timelines. It has never been survival of the fittest. It has always been the thriving of the most conscious. The image I always picture is of a glass of water and oil. You pour oil in there and the oil rests atop the water. It never submerges. It never drops down and mixes. It never intermingles itself with the water, even though it is in the exact same environment. It remains above. It's not affected by what is going on, even though it is in the exact same environment as the water. That's the big you rising above and conquering the little you. Judgment says everything about the one doing the judgment and nothing about what is being judged. The need to tell somebody off is your EMI, your ego, mind, identity. The need to be right is your EMI. The need for validation is your EMI. The need for justice is your EMI. Even grief. And that gets a little harder to rise above, but it is still true. Do not take it personally. The real you takes nothing personally because it is beyond personhood. Just as the oil that rests atop the water and stays above it all. The mind-body complex, your physical vehicle, is a temporary suit that houses divinity. The key to enlightenment and reaching our ultimate potential has nothing to do with thinking, concepts, beliefs, roles, or so-called knowledge. It is the effortless and permanent alignment with our higher mind, total communion, being fully present here and now. Once this state is normalized, the thinking, rational mind takes its rightful place as a servant to the higher mind. Now this is success, my friends. Remember, self-mastery begins with false self-judgment to true self, then to the oneness within us all, and then eventually to no self. What we are is timeless, limitless, and immortal. The more powerful, loving, and wise you will become, the more you establish this connection. It is transformation. It is not change. I'm not interested in change. Change implies that the residue of the past, I'm interested in transmutation, transformation, and transcendence. That is alchemy. That is magic. A real magic is metaphysics. That's how things really work. Through the delusion of duality, we have given birth to the concepts of right or wrong, good and bad, positive and negative. It is an illusion. It exists within, we exist within an ocean of a compassion and love. Low frequency and high frequency, they are real. That is metaphysics, that is tangible, that is measurable. The rest of it, the duality, is just a single point of view. Duality is a possible experience within limitless possibilities of possible possibilities. That is the reason it exists, because it is possible. The recognition of self, that is gnosis, self-knowledge. That is the only real knowledge that truly exists. Knowledge of self. The self is the only thing that is real and that it actually endures. Everything else simply goes, comes and goes, and has actually nothing to do with you. When you surrender completely to the present moment, you are allowing a supreme intelligence into your life. Only when you operate from the present moment is the head not in the way. The supreme intelligence is your higher mind. It is your higher self directly. Only in the present moment is your supreme intelligence accessible and online. And when it does happen, it is tangible, as many of you are now experiencing. This is now so far beyond all mental understanding. Stop trying to understand anything mentally. For the supreme intelligence to enter into your life, you must make a switch. Stop trying to mentally understand everything and switch to how present you can be. And then watch what happens. The new you will not be a programmed drone that mindlessly obeys whatever net of inversion and perversion currently is being cast. These mind programs are distilled by fetid institutions, corrupted by those who despise your internal purity and your nature. All the world is a stage, and the new you will not be fooled by the gesticulations and obfuscations of bad actors paraded before us. The new you will possess razor clarity and therefore unscratched, unharmed, and shall laugh at the endless and impotent charade. The background music of nails scratching along a chalkboard will no longer send shivers down the spine. Rather, you should stand tall, resolute in the knowingness that all this was always for your growth, to make your back stronger and to make your heart more tender. And you will know all trials and tribulations were designed by you for your own evolution. In this moment, it will be obvious, and you will know more deeply and tangibly than anything you have ever known or felt that you are the mighty and in full stature now. And there you have it. Access superconsciousness. Please do help out. It is easy. Simply like this video so more people can enjoy it. Share it. Share it to spread the word. Do leave a comment and share your thoughts. Start a conversation. Subscribe to my channel and stay up to date. And the link to this book is in the description below. Buy it. Read. Never stop learning, especially learning about yourself and nature. So, gift yourself by taking the free human needs test on my website and find out what actually motivates you. What innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. And if you feel you are ready to improve your self-awareness, your social awareness, your self-management, and your relationship management even further, do check out my Master of Life Awareness program. The links are in the description below. Thank you. Love and respect.